Alright, I think I should be on. I have no clue as to why the sound isn't working. Wish I could be able to fix that. I've been trying to, I was just about to message you, Aiden. I was just about to message you. Last night when I streamed, I got the game sound to work, but for some reason it's not working on here. It's just the same thing. Um, And let me try and fix something. It should take me a minute, but it shouldn't take too long. Just unplug and replug. Now it's up. What's up? So we're gonna try and do year two. I'm gonna try and not make it last 2.5 freaking hours again. I have so many dynasties. It is not even funny. Ku CCD default USF REFL ETUO Twitch QBBYT. Don't ask. It's Ian. Oh, what's up, Ian? Mr. Fraser. So, year one, we crowned an SEC national champion. That was Alabama. And Tua Tagovailoa being the returning quarterback for Bama. Tim Tebow still there. So we have... Let me go onto my phone, because I have some interesting news with the Alabama one. Bryce Young will be the starter over Tua in his senior year. So that'll be really interesting. Tua and Bryce Young. So Alabama, we got Tua. Auburn still have Cam. I miss these old. Dude, the Maddens are not the same. I love this PS3 mod I have. It rules. Auburn is Cam Newton. Arkansas is Ryan Mallett. LSU, Joe Burrow. Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel. Mississippi State, Dak Prescott. Ole Miss, Eli Manning. Florida, Tim Tebow. Georgia, Matthew Stafford. Kentucky's Tim Couch. Missouri's Drew Lock. South Carolina, Connor Shaw. Tennessee, Peyton Manning. And Vanderbilt, Kyle Shermer. So some big news. Going into this season, I have turned injuries off because 2 quarterbacks got injured. Literally missed almost the entire season. But Peyton Manning led the SEC in passing yards. I believe... I need to get this honestly. You really do. It's so much fun. Peyton Manning led the country in passing yards and the SEC in passing yards. Tim Tebow led the SEC in quarterback rushing yards. So we'll go ahead and sim the Florida game. See how all quarterbacks do in week 1, and the Gators go and they fall down to Appalachian State. In week 1, Tim Tebow and the Gators fall to the Appalachian State. Tim Tebow, 13 for 18, 157, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And he did run for 64 yards. Wow. Down goes the Gators. Ole Miss and Boise State in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. This is Eli Manning returning to Ole Miss after the injury, and they do win. See how Eli did. Wow, 19 for 29, 285, 4 touchdowns. 2 rushing yards. South Carolina and East Carolina. This is a neutral site game. Is it going to tell me where it's at, though? I don't think it is. That's stupid. This is, shoot. I forgot who's the QB for South Carolina. It is Connor Shaw, who did surprisingly well with South Carolina, and they lose to ECU. ECU beats South Carolina. So, the East winners and the runner-up in the East have both lost. Let's see how Dak does in his first regular season game back since week 3 of last season after playing the bowl game, and they do defeat Southern Miss. Dak Prescott, I think he broke his leg or his foot, missed almost the entire season, but came back for the bowl game and won. He was second in the SEC in average yards a game, which should tell you a lot. I mean, look at that. 22 for 37, 350, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He even ran a little. 13 for 45. I think we have our Heisman runner right here. The defending national champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide versus West Virginia Mountaineers, and the Crimson Tide handle them soundly, with Bryce Young at the helm. So Tua not starting this year. Interesting. 299 overalls. I did not mean to do that. See how they did. Bryce Young went 16 for 25, 223, 4 touchdowns and a pick. 8 attempts for 18 yards and rushing. But we even have Clemson in Georgia. Now we have, Aiden. Kansas State versus Peyton Manning and Company in Tennessee. And the Tennessee Volunteers defeat Kansas State 48-24. .48 points. Didn't even score in the fourth quarter. Let me see how Tennessee did. I mean, look at that. Peyton Manning, 24 for 32, 438, 4 touchdowns, no picks, an average of 18.2. Even the backup got to play, who went 2 for 4, 31 yards. In rushing, Peyton Manning, -4. And now we get Matthew Stafford versus DJ Uiagalelei, and Georgia takes the win this year after they lost to Clemson last season. See how Matt Stafford did in this one as they won in overtime. Just one OT. Matt Stafford, 16 for 23, 275, 2 touchdowns. And got 5 yards on the ground. So an interesting first week. As some teams still haven't played yet. I don't think we saw Auburn or Texas A&M. Kentucky also might be stupid. But big loss for Florida. You know, starting number 7, you were in the SEC championship. Almost made it to a New Year's Six bowl game, but you won the Outback Bowl. Interesting. I'm excited for New Year's. Me too. 2023 is going to be interesting. 2022 has been one of the best years for me in just a long time. I'm really excited to see what 2023 will do. The Gators fall to number 17. So let's look at the season stats for the SEC. Actually, I need to start up from right here. Yeah. So, leading the SEC, the only teams that played were Tennessee, Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi State, and South Carolina. Peyton Manning leads 483 yards, or 38 yards, sorry, I keep getting it backwards. Tim Tebow went 157, bottom of the SEC so far. Threw for 2 touchdowns. Manning, and Young all threw for 3 touchdowns. People who threw a pick were Connor Shaw, Dak Prescott, and Bryce Young. Highest completion percentage was Peyton Manning with Tebow right behind. Average per completion was Peyton Manning with Matt Stafford behind. Worried about playing Bama though. That, I honestly think that y'all still have a chance. No matter what, that's going to be a good game. So after week 1, the top of the SEC, still Alabama. Maybe on the East is Tennessee, as they are leading right ahead of Georgia. Excited to see how Vanderbilt does now that their QB's like a 91 overall. Kyle Shermer looking good. Here, let me actually just do it for this week, and then I'll sim a couple weeks in general. I don't intend on playing any of these unless you want me to. Even though all their players are playing. Yeah, but y'all are really talented. I think that they're going to undermine y'all, and I think y'all could slide out pretty easily. Yeah, here we go. Full SEC slate. Eastern Michigan at Florida. Florida needs a win here. And they get it, but they still allowed 26. They scored 56, though. Crazy in the offense, but they need to step up the defense. Let's see how Tebow did. Tebow went 17 for 20, 312, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Even Richardson came in and played. 4 for 5, 38 and a touchdown. Oh, I didn't even get to see his rushing stats. Always check the rushing stats for the running quarterbacks. Tebow went only 6 attempts for 13 yards. Kept it mostly in the air. Kentucky and Ohio. Tim Couch. Should play one of Florida's games. Alright. Yeah, I played one with Tim Tebow last night, and it didn't go too well. It's because I was playing on Heisman, and then I tried one on freshman, and I was like, yeah, that's too hard. So I'm just going to keep it on varsity when I play a game, and I'm just going to play strictly offense, or just like one half of offense, just, you know, to get the vibe. Kentucky defeats Ohio, so I'll play the Florida game for week 3. What's up, Jared? We're doing the year 2 of best SEC quarterbacks returning, and this is the sophomore year. Tim Couch, 18 for 32, 285, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Louisiana and Ole Miss. Ole Miss beats them soundly. Wow, they even got a 90-yard pick 6. That's interesting. Is it me or is my voice a lot deeper today? Is it... It's probably... I've been awake a couple hours. My sleep schedule's been messed up. Ooh, a ranked game for Auburn. See if Cam Newton can get this one. And they don't. Baylor defeats Auburn. Cam Newton. Wow. Cam Newton. I just saw this. An 80-yard touchdown run from Cam Newton. If that doesn't spell Cam Newton well enough for you. 16 for 25, 250, 2 touchdowns. And on the ground, Cam Newton, 18 for 132 yards and a touchdown. How crazy. Now that Tennessee's ranked, we'll see how they do against Texas State. Whoa! Texas State defeats Peyton Manning. Wow. Down goes Tennessee. Peyton Manning only went 16 for 27, 180, and a pick. How terrible. Well, here comes a Joe Burrow. And they defeat Louisiana Monroe 45-0. All LSU across the board. See how they did. 16 for 17, only one incompletion, 199 yards, 3 touchdowns. Even, I think it's Max Johnson, came in, went 4 for 4, 85 yards and a touchdown. How many yards did they get on the ground? Burrow, yeah, 15 attempts, 72. See how Vanderbilt does. And they get a win. A very good win. Hopes are high for Vandy. Wow, Kyle Shermer, 20 for 33, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. See how Mississippi State does against UAB. UAB, I think, defeated LSU last season. And UAB defeats Mississippi State 31-28. Wow. Dak Prescott, 18 for 34, 242, a touchdown and a pick. You should do this for all the Power 5 conferences. That's my plan. I'm going to probably do the Big 12 next. Dak Prescott, 20 attempts, 125. Wow. UAB takes down Mississippi State. Let me just see how Florida Atlantic does against Bama. I know Bama's going to win, but you never know. Bama only wins 28-14. Interesting. I almost put Mac Jones in. At first, I almost just kept Bryce Young. I almost kept Bryce Young because he leads, but I didn't want to keep it because of a recency bias. But I knew at some point he was probably going to take the starting job. But this is his senior season, so Tua should play in his junior and senior year. Maybe learn a little. Georgia defeats FCS Midwest. Nothing surprising here. Brock Bowers looking to have a really good game. See how good old Matt Stafford did. 14 for 28. 262 touchdowns. Wow. Oh, that must have been receiving. Yeah, there you go. Good game for Bowers. Stafford kept it okay. I guess decent on the ground. Texas A&M's debut of the year. Defeat FCS East. See how Manziel did. Forgot I have to go off of it and then back on. Manziel went 18 for 28, 283, 5 touchdowns. Zach Calzada came in and went 1 for 733. Not good. Oh yeah, also, Manziel should be able to run it some good bit. Yeah, 12 for 50. I think Manziel has the highest speed out of all of the QBs. So that'll be interesting. I skipped a couple. I don't intend on doing every single one of them, so I'm gonna skip to this next week. Ooh, at Ole Miss. Let me skip to a week that Florida has a. That'd be too far. Well, looks like we'll do Tebow and Eli Manning. So I'll play most likely the first half of that one. Got to change the difficulty to varsity because All-American and Heisman are just too hard and freshman is too easy. Oh dear Jesus! I just realized the Big 12 is gonna have Mahomes. Oh yeah, there's gonna be I'm probably gonna put like 99 throwing power, 99 throwing accuracy. Who would you want me to put for the Big 12 quarterbacks for like smaller teams? Like I think we all know who's gonna go to Baylor, Oklahoma. Probably gonna be Baker, maybe. I don't. Texas, maybe. I would put Vince Young, maybe. Maybe Colt McCoy? Probably Vince Young. Brandon Bonner. More like Brandon Boner. Mr. Squidward, you ate all me money. I am literally insane. Florida, 1-1. Let me sim these games, and then we'll play the Florida game against Ole Miss. So let me sim like really important SEC games. Auburn and Ole Miss, really interesting one for the West here. Mississippi State wins it. Auburn falling to 0-2. Close battle between Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Cam Newton, Dak Prescott. Looks like Mississippi State got a last minute touchdown to take the lead. Cam Newton went 19 for 33, 273, 2 touchdowns. Kept it good on the ground, 14 attempts for 74 yards. And Dak Prescott, 22 for 33, 378, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Kept it really good on the ground, 14 attempts for 94 yards. Let's see how Vanderbilt does after getting a big win with Kyle Shermer, and they beat Georgia Southern. Michael Bishop, all right. See how Mr. Shermer's done. I mean, look at that. 23 for 30, 255, a touchdown, but 3 picks. Needs to work on that accuracy. Texas A&M, the number 2 in the country. They defeat ULM. Poor ULM. Get destroyed 2 weeks in a row to SEC teams. See how Manziel did on this one. 17 for 22, 326, 3 touchdowns. Calzada came in and threw a 66-yard touchdown. Manziel looked to keep it okay on the ground too. Got 2 rushing touchdowns, not bad. Oh, Tennessee and Oklahoma. This will be interesting. Tennessee beats Oklahoma after losing to UAB. See how Peyton Manning did. Who's the best part of this God Squad 98 team? Oh, okay. I know what you mean now. Peyton Manning went 19 for 34, 319, 3 touchdowns. Got 5 attempts for no yards. Sounds like Peyton Manning to me. I don't really care about that one. We'll do this one. Drew Lock surprisingly did really good for Missouri, and they lose to UCF. Drew Lock. Oh, Drew Lock. Wow. Wow. 5 for 11. 41 yards and a touchdown. Look to keep it running the ball most of the game, but still. You got like a 97 overall quarterback. Most of these quarterbacks are really high overalls. Yeah, that's some ugly stats. And now we have Georgia and South Carolina. The winner of this might take the East. And Georgia wins. Sure should have stuck to basketball. That's hilarious. Let's see how Matt Stafford and Connor Shaw did. Connor Shaw went 17 for 31, 278 and a touchdown, and Matt Stafford went 14 for 21, 232 and 3 touchdowns. Interesting here. So now I'm going to play the first half of the Florida game. Got to change the difficulty away from freshmen. Because I played the Tennessee game on freshman, and it was just, too easy. And like All-American and Heisman were too hard. Let's see how the game against Ole Miss works. I think I'm just going to go straight. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. The straight white for Florida.
Hi everybody, Reese Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. You might think the games get more important as we get deeper into the season. Try selling that to this sellout crowd who've been screaming their guts out and ready for kickoff in the SEC. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for checking out the pregame show. NCAA college football action coming right at you. Brad and Kirk on the call. David and I are back at halftime.
The energy's mounting here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi.
Like I said, I'm not going to play defense. Just doesn't seem too fair. And Eli Manning gets stopped and they punt.
So let's
Here comes
see what
Tebow.
the offense can do as they come out onto the field.
Try and throw a dart on the first play to shorter.
He's going to go for the home run. Great catch.
And he got it.
Boy, did he fire that baby down the field.
There aren't too many quarterbacks in the country who can make that throw, and the ones that can are playing on Sundays.
How funny that Tebow never got to play on Sundays. Well, it's all the NFL's
Now it's
fault.
1st and 10 with a defense trying to regroup after giving up the big pass.
Oh, look at that.
Gains his way to the
Just
36-yard line.
trucks over the defender.
That brings up 2nd and 1.
I love that play so much.
He scrambled. Quarterback's going to run it, and he's got room to work.
Oh,
He's
wow.
tackled in the open field. He made a real nice play on that one.
I'll tell you what, in today's game, you have to have the ability to run the football. Give the quarterback a lot of credit. He made a great play and really gave his
I want to
team
try
a
the Heisman Challenge thing with Tebow someday.
From the 25-yard line.
'Cause I know it's on the
First
game.
down.
Oh,
Brought down
and we
around
lost
the
a yard.
26-yard line. Pretty good defense there on the option. They'll stop
the
him for
greatest.
a loss of 1.
Guess we'll pass it here. Keon Zipperer.
Bring him down at the 7.
I credit the quarterback on that pass. He made a great read and delivered a very nice pass for the first down.
It's first down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here.
I mean, Tebow's a beast.
Scrambling around. Keeps it, and he's got a touchdown. And he hits the PAT. Let's get the latest now from Reese Davis.
Time to check in on what's going on in Stark Vegas.
And they don't score.
The offense will be hoping they can move the ball as well as they did on their last drive.
As long as this quarterback has time to throw, then you can guarantee that he'll find the open man.
He rolls out to the left.
Oh, didn't even think.
And he hits him hard at the 24-yard line. He came up with a fantastic interception there.
I meant to press.
Quarterback is kicking himself for that
I'm
one.
still, I've had a PlayStation for years. I haven't even played on an Xbox in like almost a year. It's been about a year. And I still press X instead of freaking square. Or vice versa, sorry.
Even. In close games like this, every possession is likely to matter.
Every time.
Now he's scrambling. And he's immediately tackled.
Washington on the tackle at the 41-yard line. First down.
From their own 41-yard line, it's first down.
I swear I can't stand it, like the split-second delay between my capture card, because it's not the greatest with change of direction when you're running, especially with a quarterback. It's not the greatest.
He's going to try and scramble. Throws to the receiver, and he's got it again. Touchdown, Gators.
What a play.
This is the point in the game where you don't want to make any mistakes that give the other guys a reason to feel more confident going into halftime. He's scrambling, going deep.
That was way out of the end, or out of bounds.
Less than the intended receiver on the play. That makes it 2nd and 10.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball on their own 26. And now he's got room to run. Knocked out of bounds at the 41.
Gain 15 on the play. That makes it 1st and 10.
Tackle made at the
I
40.
hate it.
He had
That
nowhere to go
linebacker
on that
always
option
comes and
play.
gets me.
Boy, you're right. He's lucky he held onto the football there.
That'll bring up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 coming up now. Ball on their own 40. Now he tries to buy some time. Under heavy pressure.
Oh, yep, that's on me.
And the defense just picked up their 2nd interception of the game.
This defense has really been in sync during the first.
Oopsies. Oh, well, we get the ball back pretty fast, but
The offense comes out to start this drive, and they're hoping for a better result as they threw a pick on their last possession.
So much in football is about how you respond to adversity. Moving forward after a turnover is a perfect example of that.
He sails it long. Almost picked off.
yeah,
You like
Tebow
a
does
team
not
that's
have the
ready
best
to defend the
accuracy
pass. It
on
takes
long
some
passes.
preparation to get in the way of a pass like that.
2nd and 10.
From their own 13-yard line. 2nd down. Zips it to the tight end. And he's taken down around the
I love how he
30-yard
says
line.
zips it to the tight end, and the tight end's name is Zipperer. That's funny.
1st down.
He lets it fly. Big yardage on the catch, and he's immediately
They're going to
pushed
call
out of
that back.
Gain of 33 on the play.
I just know it.
It's 1st down and 10.
Wow,
after
they
picking
didn't
up
call
some
it
great
back?
Yardage through the air.
That's interesting. Just run it up the middle.
He's taken down around the 29-yard line.
Call it a gain of 8 yards. That makes it 2nd and 2.
Okay,
Takes it up the
Tebow.
middle for a nice run. So they go on the ground and pick up another 1st down.
They are stringing together a nice little drive here. If they keep this up, it'll be hard to keep them out of the end zone.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 22. He's hit and taken down.
Gain of 17 yards. That makes it 1st and goal.
They're crowding that line of scrimmage. Play action rolls to his right. Heading for the corner. He splits the uprights with the extra point. Reese Davis is standing by with this update. Reese?
It's been a little quiet. Just a little bit too quiet. Ooh, pick from Florida looks like.
The offense will come out again hoping to have similar
Good field
results as
position,
their last
right around
drive.
the 40.
I love to watch a quarterback when he can really get into sync with his wide receivers. These guys have worked all week on their preparation to attack this defense.
Oh,
and right now,
that's a
it's really
touchdown.
paying off.
The senior makes the catch. Touchdown!
Bailey?
The
Oh!
point after is no good.
Oops. I keep forgetting I'm supposed to sim the extra points. Well, Florida gets the ball back.
The offense is coming out on the field, and they haven't had any problem
The
finding
only
end
college
zone
football
lately.
stadium
Well, I
I've
think
been
this
in
defense
is
has gotta do
Legion
something,
Stadium.
Because right now, the quarterback is in such a good rhythm.
For
that
the
you gotta do
Birmingham
something to
Bowl
try to
when
get him
Florida
out.
played
I would suggest
Eastern
trying
Michigan.
to bring more pressure. Try to come up with an exotic blitz look to try to get him on his heels as opposed to being the aggressor and attacking the defense.
Tebow threw that like behind his hand.
From the 36-yard line. 1st down. Tackled after a decent decent run up the gut.
Gain of 7 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
I think Tebow has like an 80. I think I gave Tebow an 84 speed, which is still fast, but like for a quarterback.
Deep ball, laying it out there.
Touchdown? Touchdown.
And it's complete for the touchdown.
I'm going to go for 2 here. Bring it back up to 35. I'll go for a toss, but I'm not going to control the
field and attempt the 2-point conversion. And the
running
goal line
back.
defense
Actually, yes, I
leading
will.
here.
Screw it. Catch my blocks.
Around the corner. They don't
Oh,
get it.
come on.
Superb effort here by the defense to deny the 2-point conversion. They probably should have just kicked the PAT instead.
Probably you kick the P18. Shut up, Herbie.
They did a great job on their last drive, moving the ball down the field for a touchdown. Let's see if they can duplicate that on this drive.
This
I wasn't
quarterback
expecting
right
to get
now
the
is
ball back
terrific,
again.
and a lot of that has to do with his preparation.
I'll take it.
You can see right now with the reads that he's being able to make, getting the football out of his
Oh, he
hands,
dropped
he's
it.
feeling very, very confident in his ability.
Probably
to
should
throw
have
the
just kept on
football.
running. I was watching MHS championship games. Oh, that's cool.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line.
I remember in these video games when you play in Road to Glory, and if like your high school team makes it to the net. Oh, he's wide open.
Grabs it
Trent
up, might
Whittemore.
go the
That's a
distance.
touchdown.
Down the sideline.
If your high school team makes it to the national championship, you'll play in one of the big colleges stadiums. Like for Alabama, you play in Auburn. Mississippi, you play in Ole Miss.
Throws to begin with.
The defense better wake up pretty soon
I know in Florida. I don't remember where, but I think it's in Florida.
And he converts the extra point.
Uh-oh, I didn't mean to kick it. Well,
And he's ready to kick
this will be
one off.
interesting. Just gonna let the computer do it.
He'll return it from the 1. He gets out to about
I
the
didn't mean to
22-yard line.
choose the kick play. I'm so used to just moving on and playing the game. Well, we'll get the ball with about 24 seconds before the half.
It's still only the 2nd quarter. We've got a lot of football left, but I got to say, this one is teetering on the brink of a blowout. Going deep, lays it out there.
Oh, come
Can't
on.
make the grab.
Now it wants me to run it.
From their own 21-yard line. 2nd down.
Oh, wow, where did he come from?
He's out to the 30. Florida is going to have to use their 2nd.
If I get a
timeout
first
of the half.
down here, I'm going to try and heave it. I can't wait to play this New Road to Glory and just commit to Kansas State every time. It's very rare that I ever commit to Florida playing Road to Glory. It's very rare.
Nice run, and he's brought down.
Just going to run the clock out to like 1 second. Here, I'll just wait
From
and
their
do
own
that.
35-yard line.
Unless I
First
can't
down.
snap it at that point. Yeah, probably should just call a timeout.
Florida will take their final
Give it a
timeout.
heave before I sim the rest of the game.
Let's see if the quarterback heaves it up there and one of his guys can come down with it.
Wow, thanks, offensive line. Great job.
First half comes to a close as they head to the locker rooms. The Gators in front by 19.
So now we sim to the end of the game.
The Gators know that they have to enjoy
Gators
this guy while they've
break
got
the
him because
school
somewhere
record
down
for
the line
passing
he's gonna
yards
be
in a
at the next
game.
level.
Well, that'll definitely be in his future, but for now, he needs to sit back and just enjoy this performance and really the play caller, the quarterback, the offense.
Wow, 522, 23 for 35, and 108 yards on the ground.
That that does it for this edition of NCAA Football 14. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Brad Nessler saying
I didn't
so
know
long.
you have Kansas City's one. Huh? I didn't know you have Kansas City's one. Oh, line on the. Oh! What sucks on PS3 is like when the game's over and you try and skip through the cutscenes, your freaking console will freeze. Especially right here and you try and skip through it. I hate it so much. Good game for the Gators. 54-28. It's abysmal, I can tell. Third down offensive line needs to step up the game. I think I'm gonna sim half of the season, and we'll see how everyone's at. Unless I might try and keep this quick. It's also Christmas in 5 minutes. Yeah, I'll sim to week 8. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go grab me something to eat. I didn't mean to mute that. I meant to mute this. I have returned, I think, just in time. Looks like Florida beat Vandy. Really hoping to see Vandy do good. The Jaguars have taken first in the AFC South. Also, Merry Christmas, everyone. It is midnight, at least here. Florida did. Mary Chrysler. Florida did lose another game. To LSU. Beat Tennessee, beat Kentucky, lost LSU, beat Vandy. Well, let's look at the scores. See how everybody's doing. So Florida beat Tennessee 57-50. Manning went 26 for 43. Hold on. 361, 7 touchdowns. Tebow went 26, 36, 438, and 7 touchdowns and a pick. Also 44 rushing yards. How crazy is that? UAB beat Missouri. UAB's 5-0, by the way. Mississippi State beat LSU. Ole Miss beat FCS. Kentucky beat FCS. Bama lost? That'd be interesting. You know, they beat Ball State. What's up, crooked alligator? It'd be interesting to see who Bama lost to. Wake Forest beat Vandy. Vandy's 3-3, which is better than their record last year. Now that Kyle Shermer's up to 90-something overall. Merry Christmas, big guy. Merry Christmas to you, man. Texas A&M beat Auburn. They did lose 2. Not 2 games, but also. Auburn 1-5. Cam Newton really disappointing. Georgia has taken the number 2 spot. Florida beat Kentucky. Texas A&M beat Arkansas. Mississippi State beat Southern Alabama. Georgia beat Missouri. Tennessee beat LSU. Auburn beat Kansas State. Sorry about that one, Aiden. Vandy beat South Carolina. And Ole Miss beat Bama. LSU beat Florida. Let's see how this one happened. Burrow, 18 for 28, 259 and a touchdown. Supposed to go at 58 on the ground. Tebow, 17 for 24, 228, 3 touchdowns, and 55 on the ground. Mizzou beat Old Dominion. Boston College beat Auburn. Man, Auburn is not looking good. Yeah. Auburn's falling off harder than Cam's NFL career. Bama beat Texas A&M. Georgia beat Tennessee. Ole Miss beat Vandy. South Carolina beat Kentucky. Arkansas beat ECU. Florida beat Vandy. Ole Miss beat Auburn. Mississippi. What's Florida ranked? 19. State beat Missouri. Texas A&M beat Georgia State. Arkansas beat the Gamecocks. Oregon State beat Tennessee. Excuse me. Sorry. I try not to burp when I'm streaming. But I hiccuped and it just forced itself out. Alabama barely beat Kentucky. Georgia beat South Alabama. LSU beat Western Michigan. And now we're here. So let's look at the stats. And Tebow is leading the SEC in passing yards. 2,200, 27 touchdowns, 4 picks, an average of 314 a game, 74 completion, average of almost 16 yards a pass, sacked 10 times. The most touchdowns go to Tebow. Peyton Manning right behind him. Under Tebow in the passing is also Peyton, then Matt Stafford, Dak, Eli Manning, Kyle Shermer, Tim Couch, Connor Shaw, Johnny Manziel, Bryce Young, Ryan Mallett, Cam Newton, Joe Burrow, Drew Lock. Drew Lock is the lowest out of all of our QBs. I mean, look at that. Lock's 99, Burrow's 99, Newton's 96, Mallett's 97, Young's 99, Manziel's 99, Connor Shaw's 99, Tim Couch 99, Kyle Shermer 95, Manning 99, Prescott's a 99, Stafford, Manning, and Tebow 99. The most picks goes to Kyle Shermer. Least touchdowns go to Drew Lock. Most times sacked goes to Dak. Interesting. I didn't mean to click out of it. Let's see who's the highest rushing QB. And that would go to Dak Prescott. Locke is going to lose his job, most likely. Dak Prescott is the highest rushing QB in the SEC. 473 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. With Tebow and Newton behind him. Interesting stuff here. Let's see how everybody's doing in the career stats. This is from last season and this season combined. Peyton Manning is still leading, with Tebow and Tim Couch behind him. At the bottom of all seasons combined of all starters who started both seasons would be Cam Newton. Dak got hurt. Tua is out this season. Eli got hurt. And Bryce is starting this season. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be eating right now, but I have not eaten at all today, and I also really wanted to get this stream done. Tebow! Look at Tebow. The highest of all QBs rushing stats total. Also, who's gotten the most touchdowns? Probably Peyton. Yep, Peyton. No, Manziel. Then Peyton, Stafford, Tebow. Who's thrown the most picks? That would go to Kyle Shermer with Tebow right behind him. Interesting. Who's leading the Heisman? Probably Tebow. With Manziel and Matt Stafford up in there. Hold on, let me look at the conference outlook. Standings, whatever it's called. Okay. I believe if Georgia wins this, they win the East. If Florida wins this, they still have a chance. And Florida will have to still win out. So, let me sim to this week. We'll look at these scores, and then we'll sim each game at a time. Florida wins against Drew Lock. Who do you think's gonna be first in the draft? In real life or out of these quarterbacks? IRL, okay. Is Stroud? Stroud's in the draft, right? If so, then I think it'll be Stroud. Then I think a couple defenders will be picked, like some edge guys, then Bryce. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be like the fourth QB off the board. I think he's going to either Indianapolis or Seattle. Wherever Richardson goes. I'm not saying that's a good pick. I'm just saying that's where I think he'll go. He should have stayed another year at Florida. So, Florida beat Missouri, Tennessee beat South Carolina, LSU beat Old Dominion, Bama beat Arkansas, Auburn beat Buffalo. Agreed about Richardson. Yeah. Georgia beat Vandy, Texas A&M beat Mississippi State. Now, this week. Who will do this one? Ole Miss, Arkansas. Arkansas wins. Good old Ryan Mallett. You know, some of these quarterbacks aren't really as known. You know, you always think of good quarterbacks that come out of the SEC, and you can name a lot. But Kyle Shermer, Connor Shaw, freaking, hold on, let me look at my list. I know Tim Couch is. I know Drew Lock is. Like Ryan Mallett, Tim Couch, Drew Lock, Connor Shaw, Kyle Shermer are really the odd ones out. Not the YouTuber. The odd ones out of all of these. LSU beat Texas A&M. Wow. See how this one goes. Tim Couch and Dak Prescott, Mississippi State wins. So Mississippi State last season went 6-6. They were 3-1 and they lost Dak, and they went 6-6. And then they won the bowl game and went 7-6. Now Dak is here for a full season, and they're already 6-2. South Carolina and Auburn. Don't really care for. Here we go. Alabama, Tennessee. And Peyton Manning wins. Alabama falls. 2 years in a row, might I add. Last season on here, the only loss Bama had last year was to Tennessee, and they lost 42-7. It was also when Tua was QB. See how Peyton did. Bryce looked bad. Peyton, 26 for 33, 322, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. Bryce Young went 17 for 26, 182, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. All right. Florida, Georgia. To decide most likely the East. If Florida wins, Florida beats the number 2 Bulldogs. Florida trying to win the East for 2 years in a row now. Stafford went 19 for 32, 299 and 4 touchdowns, no picks. Tebow went 24 for 29, 298, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and 38 on the ground. Interesting here. Let me skip to week 13. We'll see how everything else goes from there. The reason I'm speeding through this is because it's late at night. I also didn't plan to stream long today in general because it's Christmas Eve. I'm going to try and keep the one for if I do stream tomorrow or today, the 25th. It won't be long either because it'll be Christmas. I'll stream at night. But for the senior year one, I plan on keeping it like pretty good length, like the 2.5 hour one I did last night. I'm sure he'll be drafted, Max Duggan. I'm not sure when, though. Probably not the first round. I'll guess third round pick. Third round QB. Whoa, Florida beat the crap out of South Carolina. 63-24. Probably late second or early third if teams start reaching. Yeah. If teams are really... Honestly, the team that picks Richardson, I wouldn't be surprised if they took 2 quarterbacks, just because of how iffy the pick of Richardson is. Can't remember his name, but yeah, they do. I saw the Big 12 championship. That was a good game. All right, time to do Rivalry Week, Conference Championship, and Bowl games. Will Howard, yeah. What's up with the starter? Is he leaving for the NFL? Florida also number 7. See how everybody did. Vanderbilt beat Missouri. Texas A&M barely beat Vandy. Arkansas beat Auburn in OT. How many OTs was this one? 3 overtimes. Sorry, 2 overtimes. South Carolina beat Troy. Alabama beat LSU. Looks like it'll be Alabama. Mississippi State beat Coastal Carolina. Mizzou beat Kentucky. Florida beat South Carolina. LSU beat Troy. Kentucky beat Vandy. Ole Miss beat Texas State. He got hurt and Will came involved. Okay. I was really confused because I was like, I didn't think he was the backup because, you know, that's what I've been seeing. Missouri beat Tennessee. Tennessee only 6-5. Texas A&M beat Indiana. Georgia beat Auburn. Alabama beat Mississippi State. Because of the 2 losses for Florida, I do believe it'll probably be Georgia and Alabama in the SEC championship. Kentucky beat North Texas. Arkansas beat State. LSU beat Ole Miss. Tennessee beat Vandy. And now we're right about the area for Rivalry Week. Georgia at Kentucky. I feel like Georgia wants to get in. Georgia has to lose to either Kentucky or Georgia Tech, and Florida has to win out. And Georgia beat Kentucky. Wow. That's crazy. Kind of feel bad for the starter. Okay, Florida is leading the East. Even though they have a worse record than Georgia, they still do have that win over Georgia. Starting graduates played this year at Nebraska for like Sorry, did you have a stroke when typing that? Like 4 or 5 years and transferred it. Wow. That's interesting. Stroke. My rosters are so behind. I still have Dan Mullen as the coach on here. Florida still might have a chance at making the national championship. They're number 5. I think it'd have to be a miracle to make it. They can do it. Whoever's in the top 4, or even would have to lose. Update from Jesus? Update them, Jesus. Oh, sorry. I thought I had a stroke too. I can't. I don't have a pen drive. Go ahead and send this one. Come on, Florida. Okay, they barely beat FSU. I don't have a pen drive to update it because I have to update the PS3, then I have to update the revamped, then I have to update the rosters. Egg Bowl time. And Mississippi State wins it 2 years in a row. Use the phenomenon called American currency and get a pin. I have the money, I just don't want to have to go buy one. I'll just like ask my uncle for one. He lives right next door. Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia wins. Imagine if Florida wins the SEC championship. I just dropped a battery. And I keep dead batteries on my desk for some reason. Don't ask me. That'll be interesting if Georgia somehow makes it into the SEC championship game. Not SEC championship game. The national championship game without even playing in the SEC championship. Imagine if it's just Georgia and Florida in the national championship. That would be funny. If like freaking number 1, 3 and 4 lost. Ah yes, the other phenomenon of America, laziness. Kentucky beat Tennessee. The Iron Bowl. Alabama wins the Iron Bowl 2 years in a row. My chair is so creaky. I'm trying to make the creak noise it made a minute ago, but it won't. Vanderbilt and Coastal Carolina. Vandy wins. Vandy goes 5-7, but not bowl eligible. This is definitely a plus from their first season after going 2-10. Maybe bowl eligible in the third one. Then we'll just have to see for the fourth one. LSU and Arkansas. LSU wins. South Carolina and Clemson. South Carolina won last year's, and Clemson wins this year. South Carolina did good last season. They finished 3rd in the SEC. having the same record as Florida. I don't know if they won their New Year's Six bowl game. I don't think they did. Missouri and Texas A&M. And the regular season. Now I crave buffalo wings, dude. That sounds good. Vandy smells like sweaty blue cheese. That made you hungry for buffalo wings? Sweaty blue cheese. One of my videos on my second channel is blowing up again. My gosh, my second channel has been doing really good. 12,000 views, 28,000 views, 5.7 thousand views, 1.9 thousand views. I literally hit 250 subscribers at 10 in the morning. I'm already at 280. Channel's going quick. You can see how the poll's going. 287 votes. I have more votes than subscribers. And it's being won, or Slipknot's winning, so I gotta make that Slipknot video. So now we go to the SEC Championship, what I believe will be a rematch between Alabama and Florida. I might be wrong. I think it's gonna be Alabama and Florida. Thought of blue cheese dip. I know, I was just making a joke. But sweaty blue cheese is just what makes it sound disgusting. I could never get into like blue cheese or blue cheese ranch. To me, it always tasted like nasty old bananas. You know, like it gets brown, but like it's really brown. That's what I imagine it tastes like. Thought of it. Although I do love buffalo wings. I've never been a fan of dipping buffalo wings in ranch in general. I've always liked putting ranch on pizza. Which is like a little bit, but like not wings. I just like the wings and the sauce. Although buffalo wings in general are just great. I think they're the best wings. Although there was one restaurant that I went to, it was when I went on that band trip with He Who Shall Not Be Named. We stopped at a pizza place, and I got like a small personal pizza and like a thing of wings. I didn't realize how much wings there was going to be, because the pizza was already huge, and they came with the wings. It was like 16 pieces. I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to finish this. I ended up eating like 3 slices of pizza and all of the wings, because the wings were so good. The pizza was good, but the wings were awesome. They were lemon pepper, because honey mustard on pizza slaps. Sounds interesting, and I'll just leave it there. So the SEC Championship, Florida and Bama. Florida number 3. Florida has a chance at making the national championship. I think the only way they would have to go is if they win and Ohio State loses to Minnesota. Or if they win, you would think that they would jump Georgia. Having, you know, Florida versus Georgia would be interesting. But it'll either be Florida versus Georgia, Georgia versus Ohio State, or Florida versus Ohio State. So let's go ahead and, let's see. Let's go ahead and send the Big Ten Championship. And it's won by Minnesota. Minnesota. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay. Florida needs to beat Alabama. Let's go. And the Crimson Tide win. 2 years in a row, they defeat Florida. pain. Pain, pain, pain. Bryce Young, 13 for 19, 192, 2 touchdowns. Tebow, 19 for 24, 212, 3 touchdowns. Well, your national championship might be... Who's 4? Houston? Nah. Clemson? Maybe. Imagine if it's Georgia, Alabama. My gosh, shades of 2021. Tiny soda? Oh, instead of Minnesota, tiny soda. Tiny soda. That's every time I see somebody use those emojis, I always think of someone go like breathing in like that, super shocked before they say what they're about to say. It sounded like I was sucking in for air, like that was my last breath I'd ever take. I doubt Florida's going to the Sugar Bowl after that. But we'll see who wins the Heisman, too. I forgot to take the Heisman finals. Well, we're about to find out who wins the Heisman. See if it's an SEC QB. Tebow was the highest out of all of them last season, finishing second in the SEC, but Clemson's running back won. And it is won by Tim Tebow. The others, Dak Prescott, finished third, and Johnny Manziel finished fifth. And Timothy Tim Tebow wins. And they make it to the Peach Bowl. So Florida got a New Year's Six bowl game. Tebow wins the Heisman. It's me, I win the Heisman. I think you spelled that wrong. It's me, I win the Heisman. I don't think you know what a Heisman is there, bud. Let's see who's playing in the national championship, and I swear, if it's freaking Georgia and Bama... Are you kidding me? It's Georgia and Bama. 2 SEC teams. Well, let's see who wins all the bowl games. Tennessee and Kansas in the Texas TaxAct Bowl. And Tennessee wins. Beats the Jayhawks. The stinky, stinky Jayhawks. Very stinky Jayhawks. Very stinky. '21 repeat. Tell me about it. Arkansas and Wisconsin in the Music City Bowl. Wisconsin wins. Wisconsin. So Tebow wins the Heisman. Hopefully, that should put some hope into them, hopefully winning a natty in his junior or senior year. After this, Bryce Young will leave and Tua will become the starter again. LSU and West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl. And LSU just absolutely crushes West Virginia. Texas A&M and Michigan in the Outback Bowl. And Michigan defeats Texas A&M in the Outback Bowl in overtime. How many overtimes was it? 2. Mississippi State and Georgia Tech in the Gator Bowl. And it's won by Georgia Tech. Whose mascot is a dragon? UAB. Well, they're the Blazers, but their mascot's a dragon. No! I know what you're gonna do. I know you're typing it in right now. No, don't do it. Don't do it. SMU and Ole Miss in the Birmingham. And SMU wins. Don't do it. I know you're thinking about it. Just like me trying to just... I'm just going to pretend I didn't read that. Number 10, Florida. Number 11, North Carolina State in the Peach Bowl. Who wins? Florida has won the Peach Bowl. And now, the national championship. Two lost Bama, SEC championships. One lost Georgia, who lost to Florida, didn't even make the SEC championship. So this is what the SEC championship almost would have been. Managed for the roles were reversed. The national champion is the Alabama Crimson Tide. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, Bama wins the national championship. And Bryce Young and Tua Tagovailoa both have 2 rings for the SEC and national championship. See how the stats went. Matt Stafford, 20 for 29, 334, 3 touchdowns, and Bryce Young, 19 for 28, 245, 5 touchdowns. Look at the end of the year stats and look at the career halfway stats. Saban Ligma. So leading the SEC this year in passing yards is Dak Prescott, followed by Peyton Manning, then Tim Tebow, Kyle Shermer, Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford. At the bottom, of all starters, was Drew Lock with 2,008 yards. Most passing touchdowns go to Tim Tebow, followed behind by Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Bryce Young, and Manziel. The least go to Drew Lock with 9. Most picks go to Kyle Shermer with 9, with Shaw, Prescott, Tebow, and Young with 7, and the least go to Manziel with only 2. Most average yards per game go to Dak Prescott, 358, but that, fits because of the air raid by Mike Leach, rest in peace. And then Peyton Manning, Kyle Shermer, Connor Shaw, Tim Tebow. At the very bottom would be Drew Lock, and Ryan Mallett, Bryce Young. Highest percentage goes to Manziel, then Burrow and Tebow tied for second. And at the bottom of completion percentage goes to Eli Manning, only 62. Average per completion goes to Peyton Manning, with Tebow, Burrow, and Stafford right behind him. The least goes to Ryan Mallett with only 12. The longest pass goes to Tim Tebow with 91. And the longest pass goes to Drew Lock with only 56. Most sacked QB goes to Manziel with 31. The least goes to Drew Lock. The highest rushing QB will go to Tim Tebow with 912 rushing yards. Not as much as this last season. I do believe he passed more this season, but he didn't run as much. Last season he had 995. Actually, I can check right here. Yep, this season was better, way better. Last season throwing for 3,227. Then this season throwing for 4,152. Less interceptions, more touchdowns, higher percentage, higher QB rating. Rushing wise, yep, not as good. I mean, definitely near on par with everything else, but that's still some really good stats. And after 2 seasons, let's look at the career stats. Out of all QBs And the highest passing out of all QBs will go to Peyton Manning, 8,453 in 2 seasons, followed by Tebow and Connor Shaw, Manziel, and Stafford. At the very bottom of all of them, that started both seasons, is Drew Lock. Cam Newton, of course, not Cam Newton, sorry. Eli Manning, of course, is going to be the bottom. Same for Bryce Young and Tua. Dak's surprisingly up a lot farther. For someone who missed like 80%, Walter Camp, as someone who missed 80% of last season. I mean, look at this. Hold on. Only playing like 2 or 3 games. Last season did great. And then he did completely better this year. I think we have a Heisman candidate right here. The most touchdowns is Peyton Manning, then Manziel, then Tebow, Stafford, Couch. The least will go to Drew Lock, of course. Most interceptions goes to Kyle Shermer, Connor Shaw, Tebow. The least picks, trying to get over to there, go to Manziel with only 6. Average passing yards game goes to Prescott, followed by Manning and Shaw. Jesse threw the ball open. And the least goes to Drew Lock. Most sacks go to Kyle Shermer with 56. And the least go to Drew Lock. Well, I had a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to end the stream and go use the bathroom. And I'll probably come back and play a little GeoGuessr on stream. So, give me about enough time, and I will be back to stream some GeoGuessr if you're still awake. So I'll talk to you guys later. When I mean later, like 20 minutes.